as much. I just spoke with him because he's in a partial meeting there that he can't really speak.
What's up?
But he'll listen in.
Okay, cool, nice. So last time before we left off, there were like two things we were like kind of discussing about, right? One was the discussing of like how we could potentially like integrate into your infrastructure as an API to kind of like, you know, maybe like one, right? It's like encrypt like the predicting like prediction records that's like being generated by like the users using the game. That's one. And two, right? Mainly and maybe even like kind of like using it as a form of storage, right? For because like Solana actually charges rent for storing like data. So mainly maybe two, like potentially using your infrastructure to like store all the records once they have been validated. And three, right? Kind of like when your side was ready to like talk to the folks on the Solana side, figure out how we can like collaborate and package like the whole thing up, including our project, to like gain access to like grants from like Solana Ventures. Yeah, this is kind of like where we left off in the previous like discussion. So maybe like let's like go through like get a sense of where you guys are at, and then like then we like go through like the agenda items. Yeah.
Max, you wanna run through this right now? Where is he? Is he with us?
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, let me.
What's up, Gary?
Hey, what's up, dude?
How you doing? Well, so sorry, I was a little bit busy on other carnival, but I'm here back, and like I told you last time, coming here to Bali just to to launch the product. So it's kind of dark. It's a nighttime here, so I mean you can probably see me a little bit. But yeah, I told the guys about the product that you do and like the community you build, and this is like insane, and that's why I brought Alex. He's our partner and CF4, and Greg, he's our tokenomics guy. I told him about the system that you built for the DAO, and he was like super impressed and want to hear more about it. He's like just, and he's completely try to make make sense for our DAO that we're building. So like he's our tokenomics guy. But
got it.
For the stage where we're at right now, basically you saw the product, so I mean I've shown you the demo. You saw that everything is ready. Now we're adding more storage power from the partners, so like we building more nodes. We're adding more resources into the storage space. In a couple of weeks, on June 1st, we want to launch our alpha version for the product and launch the NFTs. So like we're gonna bring the strategic partners into the use of the Ghost Drive. Who can help us to build a community like I told you last time. So this is basically our goal is, and definitely. As I mentioned to you in Dubai, that we can definitely collaborate because you guys already have the community. You already have the full DAO in place that it's already up and running, and this is definitely something that we can find a place to make it happen, and like to have a win-win situation, basically.
All right. So basically the DAO of like a true side DAO, or like the rest of the community from like the global DAO alliance, because like that one is actually like really large as well.
If you can tell the guys a little bit about like what you already done and what you accomplished, maybe just show a little bit of demo what you showed me the last time. I think it's going to be super beneficial for them, because I did the presentation a little bit like you showed me. But it's only my words, but definitely it's going to be much better when you're going to be able to show it to them.
All right. So basically there are two decks then. Let me like share my screen and I'll like walk through you the game. that's like been kind of like conceptualized. And then after that, I'll walk you through the governance model, so you actually get a sense. So this is the game. So basically what we're doing is like we're building a game to democratize hedge funds. And the reason as to why we're doing that is because analysts right now, there's like a lot of hobbyist analysts out there. And if they want to like create a hedge fund, then actually like there's a lot of barrier to entry. First, you have to like raise $500,000 to cover your legal fees. And then after that, you have to spend a lot on marketing just to like drive a lot of like LPs to like go join the fund, and like just to like justify it, you have to like raise at least like $10 million US. Okay, but if you decide to bypass that and just go directly to the retail investors, then you get like this problem of like trust, right? Because like from their perspective, it's like all they know is like maybe like this marketing like materials you created is just like all like Photoshop anyway. So no trust. Now, this like segment is actually growing, right? Over the past like few years, especially like on Robinhood itself, during the pandemic, they grew to like around like 31 million like registered users. And this whole problem of like trust that's actually happening on the internet is just getting from bad to worse, because like, misinformation, disinformation is just happening, and just like the echo chamber is just like causing a lot of pollution. So the way we like figured out to how to get around the problem is like say, hey, you're an analyst, you generate like predictions anyway. Why don't you like write your predictions onto the blockchain? And then like later on, right, it's like since it's all written on the blockchain, we can like even validate like the accuracy of it on the blockchain. And with that, right, then like the average investor, like when they come take a look, they say, oh, okay, this person actually like has this like prediction on the blockchain, is verified, I can trust. So the way we like package up the solution, it's like we package it up as a game. It's like we call it the most exciting NFT wars in the metaverse. So imagine like you combine Squid Games and Real Steel together. And there are 3 modes to this game. Mode 1 is like player versus environment. You as an analyst just come in to like start leveling up your reputation. And this is how it works. You believe that Apple is going to go up over the next 7 days. So you write your prediction onto the blockchain using smart contract and like say like what's the direction, up or down. And to do so, you have to like stake your TSD token to actually like generate the prediction. And then it's locked up. So only that means like people would know that you are the one that wrote the prediction to the blockchain, and like when it comes to maturity. That is like the part that like is visible to the public. The rest, not visible. Okay. Then the next part, right, is like once the prediction comes to maturity, then like the smart contract activates and validates the prediction on the smart chain itself. Then the regular person could actually like know, okay, it was you that generated the prediction, and it was matured on this date, and was it a correct prediction or a wrong prediction? Make sense? Yeah.
So it's like Yelp, verifiable Yelp.
Yes, yes. And then like over time, what happens is that as you like kind of like generate like a whole series of like predictions, then the accuracy becomes visible to like everyone, right, who kind of actually comes and see. Then because of that, right, then we like totally bypass the problem of trust on the internet specifically for this use case. It's like, which is analysts. Then it's like, oh, okay, this person has been like having like around 80% accuracy. It's high enough, right? So next time he generates a prediction, I'll just like pay him some of this TSD token. And I actually like get the prediction that he generated in return. So the DAO, which is our vault, actually takes a cut out of it. All right. Now the player versus player mode is like periodically when we have like too much like that means like the price of our TSD is too high, then we like call like a 7-day game of truth, right? And how it works is this: you see like all the other challengers that's actually like join this like game. It's like, okay, you want to be part of it, great. So to join, there's like a, like when you play poker, there's an ante, right? You have to like kind of big blind, small blind. So you like put the big blinds down. It's like, okay, I'm going to be part of the game, right? But if you're not like feeling like confident enough about your own abilities, then what happens is that you can like still get involved by like staking your tokens on the one that you believe is going to be a winner. And then after that, all hands off the table. Just like more like horse racing at this point. And then the next 7 days, you see like they compete, right? And then after the 7 days, what happens is that the winner, actually like the top 3, right? Actually like, okay, they surface because of the prediction they've been making during those 7 days period. And then what happens is that, okay, game done, like winners are declared. If you like really won, like you're like top 3, we airdrop you like your TSD tokens, which is kind of like the fresh issue from our vault, right? And then like if you actually like a punter and you actually like bet on the analysts, then you also get like the airdrops from our vault. So and with that, right, then the total volume of USDT in our vault versus the total volume of TSD out there gets rebalanced. Then in the third mode, where like you go into like, what we can do is like, instead of kind of like doing the airdrop, right, we just take like this surplus USDT and just say, hey, we like create a separate fund and you have like won, right, the competition. So we like get you to like manage this fund. And then like every 3 months, right, the surplus, we from the the profit that generated from your trading activities, we airdrop 25% to you and 75% comes back to our DAO. So that's like in a nutshell how the whole game works. Okay. Any questions?
So there has to be like minimum number of players in order for this to be successful, correct?
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, it's like if you have like
if you have 4 players, have 4 players, you're essentially the maximum you can get back is 25% of your investment.
So this, you mean like the God mode?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like really, really late stage. Like once we have like a lot of like volume in our game, right? Then only then do we like start rolling this out. This is like really late stage. So initially we're just like gonna focus on the game itself, which is like this. So actually just for like the current scope, we're just focusing on this and that. That means like you create the prediction, you stick your tokens, and if you kind of like correct, then you get like a whole bunch of tokens back. There's a formula in the back end to like calculate how much you get.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So let me jump to another slide, which is the one on the governance. All right. So regarding governance, let me just skip past like the whole section and go to the meat of it, right? Okay, so let me just like start with this, right? Which is like the core hypothesis, like which is the start of the core hypothesis that led to the setup of the governance model. So I've been like reading a whole bunch of books about like complex systems and social networks, and what I realized was that as networks achieve critical mass, they tend to exhibit like unpredictable emergent properties. And the idea was that, hey, I actually like realized that there was like this inside I had where if you kind of pull out all the news like headlines and tokenize them, and like you could generally like create a entire time series right out of this. And with that, right, it's like, well, if you could like totally take this two like time series and the market price feed from the data and just like generate correlations to see like which particular topic is really driving the market. So that was the key insight. Now, then I was like thinking, well, the problem of fake news was like really, really complex and complicated, right? So the solution will probably not be very like straightforward. So I thought, okay, like why not rely on this unpredictable like emergent property of networks to like figure out what the solution is. Hence, like what kind of like what triggered like the start of this whole DAO. All right. Then the first part of like setting up the DAO is like first figure out why, right? Why we are like doing this? Because like without the why, then like people actually come to the DAO, they don't even know why they're there. Like what's the goal? What's the purpose? Then the whole thing just like falls apart really fast. So if you're kind of like going to like copy the same governance model, you have to first figure out the why. Then, cause your team already kind of built up the solution, maybe like this part is not as relevant for you. It's like ours, like we didn't even have any liquidity up front. So everyone's just like contributing. And like, since we are thinking, hey, rather than like going like the traditional route when you have like a bunch of like, co-founders actually go about this and kind of like dealing with all the, mass of like how to like split equity fairly. It's like saying, all right, let's just like use the milestone-based vesting model, right? Which led us to create the ledger, whereby every single contributor's name, right, is like recorded, and the commitment that they promised to deliver is also recorded. And the number of shares, we price it as like $1 per share, right? And we just like say, okay, this commitment that you like contribute to us, like just price it at like fair market value and just like record it on the ledger. So that, okay, it was like whatever like you feel is equitable, go for it. And like at the same time, it's transparent, right? So every other like member that actually contributes to the project knows that, oh, okay, this thing is actually for this price. Okay, if they actually want to dispute it, they could. Next. At the same time, right, we do know that the follow through part is like challenging for like some contributors, because sometimes they actually like start becoming busy, or this is the kind of like, you know, saying yes, but actually means no. So rather than like waiting for them, it's like saying, okay, just put it on the ledger. And if you actually like follow through, great, we issue you the shares. If not, then okay, whatever. It's just like recorded that this person never followed through. So the next time you try to like offer something else, it's like, hey, your follow through level is like very low, right? Maybe you can you can commit to doing something that's not on the critical path, so they don't like block other members in the DAO. And then like to kind of like make this thing more solid, what we did was that, hey, the shares now, we just convert everything into coins, right? All the coins are just kept in our reserve. So once you're done with your stuff and then you like got your TSD tokens issued to you, that means you own them, then we like just do a transfer, a Solana transfer to you, right? And the hash is recorded on the ledger. So this is how like the whole ledger part work. Okay. And then the interesting part, like we realized, was that, hey, a new DAO member, right? It's like, actually most DAO members don't realize they're becoming DAO members until like they receive their token, right? This is a kind of, can be like chatting, like using their brains, like kind of like think about how to solve a specific problem that's like to do with the DAO. And then like once they finish like the thinking process and actually like say, okay, this is like something that's applicable, right? Can be used. Then the contribution is also recorded on the ledger. And then we like send airdrop them a token of appreciation. And that has the effect of like, you know, just like driving.
So it's the same. You don't have like an escrow voting token. It's everything is just based off of one token.
Yeah. One token. Yeah.
Okay.
And then, well, then basically that's like how the whole retention model works, right? Member like makes a contribution, member gets some variable reward, and then like because it's all on the ledger, well, your social status is kind of like visible to all, right? It's like, okay, this person actually contributes. And then if you're internally driven, then this like whole loop just keeps compounding. If you're not, then sometimes like, you know, the active ones, when they're trying to do some stuff, they realize, hey, some skill sets are missing in our active like DAO members. We know that this like other DAO member was there. Let's like get him involved, right, to help like with the contribution. And then like that's how you like bring like new members in, and that's the external trigger. Now, to really like gamify the experience, we just created like this ranking system, right? And what it does is that, okay, now social status is really apparent, and like there's actually a ranking going on, right? Some of them like a little competitive, they start contributing more so that you could just like up their rank, which is like really interesting. And since like all the tokens like grants you like voting rights, what it does is that, hey, you know, it's like when some major decision actually gets like needs to like happen in the DAO, then well, because you've been like contributing so much, and you really have like a lot of say, right, in like how the whole thing actually how the proposal goes through or not. Yeah. Then as like you know, once like this governance model is like set up, right, and more contributions come in, what we see was that there's like a whole bunch of categories of like you know, different contributions. So we thought like to just like streamline it and just like saying, oh, some of the more common ones, we just like say, okay, next time when like such contribution comes in, then you get like this number of tokens. Yeah. And then like once that is like set up, then like literally someone else can kind of like take over the updating of the ledger. So it doesn't have to like all go through like one person. So yeah, see that? This is how it works. Kevin Chu decides to contribute this, and like at that time he contributed that, and like this falls under this category, therefore it qualifies for 250 tokens once it's done. Now, periodically, because the rubric is basically a representation of the whole like environment, what happens is that it either goes outdated, or like the DAO actually goes to like an area where like where it needs to execute, but not a lot of DAO members actually have any experience like before, or like it was not really done within the DAO itself. Then like DAO members would challenge, right? And that's how we like set up the 3-branch like governance system: the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch. So executive are basically all those people that's been contributing to the DAO in exchange for tokens. The legislative branch are those people who's like this like independent group of scribes. Just call them auditors, right? They come in, they like look at your contribution. They basically monitor our chat rooms and like update our ledger to say, okay, this person contributed this, therefore he's like worth like he actually is like should get like this tokens. And then periodically, because of this miscategorization due to outdatedness or misclassification, the executive branch could just go and trigger off the judicial branch who comes in and see, is our rubric outdated or is just misclassification? So that's like how the rubric gets like updated. And
how do people get voted into each particular branch?
What?
Who gets to decide who's going to be in the legislative branch, who's going to be in the
so
judicial
this
branch?
one is basically right now I'm like running the legislative branch, right? Mainly it's just me because I kind of control the vault. But what we're trying to do is to get the scribe style guys to come in. They are like being trained, and they basically are independent group, right? So they don't get to earn like TSD tokens at all. Yeah. And then the judicial branch are those like when it gets triggered off, right? That means we start looking at the ledger and see who historically been contributing a lot in that area that's being disputed because they are subject matter experts. Make sense? And then they can come in and say, oh, okay, three of us come together, we like look at it and we say, okay, misclassified, outdated, or it's like appeal, denied.
So it doesn't matter how many tokens I own. What matters is what my reputation score is, essentially.
Yes, literally. But it's like if the three judges couldn't do it, then like go into moderation, and then like someone steps in, and if that person doesn't step in, then basically it goes to the popular vote, right? And at that point, like the popular vote, which like typically lasts like 24 hours, then like everyone who has tokens can vote, right? And that actually like decides the rubric.
Okay. So ultimately with this structure, you have ultimate control. You have the ultimate veto power until you set up that
scribe style
or decentralize the legislative branch and the judicial branch.
Yeah. So that's being like done right now. It's like, in fact, like we like training like one scribe to come in right now. So once that is done, like more scribes could be trained.
Okay, that's an interesting approach.
Yeah. It's like you can like, it's like imagine like auditing, right? It's like you're auditing a company, but you can't really get your own in-house accountant to audit your books. So what you end up happening, you get like someone else, like external, like KPMG and like Pricewaterhouse actually like do the auditing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
got
that.
it. Okay, yeah, because our structure is like we want it to be fully decentralized after our IDO, and I'm guessing you guys already had your IDO, right, for your token? Or not
show like what?
Did you have the token offering yet? Is it public or it's still
the token
private?
Like some portions of it is available on the DEX Labs, but no one really buys it because everyone's just like contributing directly,
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, because like we have we have products and we have the token that is used as a utility token.
Yeah.
And I guess you could call it as partially as a security as well, because it does have a growth potential.
Yeah.
And the way we trying to solve our governance is for each GXD token that you buy, you will get escrow. It's called eGXD internal token. And with that, once you stake it, you'll get your DAO votes. You'll get a certain voting power.
Okay.
To make decisions.
I see.
And the stage that we're at right now is we're trying to find out how many GXD tokens you need to stake in order to get one eGXD token, to make sure you keep people from overtaking the company, number one. If somebody malicious comes in and decides, with unlimited budget, that just wants to turn off the company because it's causing too much turbulence in the world. So we're coming up with our governance, with our constitution right now to stop all of this.
All right. Actually, how would you even stop it? There's like a way to vote for it to get stopped.
So we were looking at board members. So you have your community that votes in on the project, and then it goes to the board. and the board is essentially your top 10 bag holders, including the founders, including major people. And they're the ones who can audit everything and check to make sure that everything is good. But essentially DAO is able to the community in the long term, once we go fully through our IDO and everything goes into the full DAO decentralized structure, the community is going to be able to vote in board members and things like this.
I see.
So we want to give as much power to the community at the same time, just to have certain control over it, to make sure that nothing bad happens to the foundation.
All right. Yeah.
So that's our dilemma right now. That's something that we've been we're writing up and trying to figure out what is the most effective way to make sure that the organization is sustainable for long term, not just
I see
today.
Okay. Yeah. I guess.
And there's multiple levels, because we're level 0, level 1, level 2, level 3.
Yeah.
Or not level, layer 0 through 3 essentially.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of our current situation, and we're looking to see like how to calculate that number for the escrow tokens to get, because with escrow tokens you get a lot of other benefits. I mean, you get profit sharing, you get voting, you have participation where you could submit ideas, things like this.
Okay, I see. So actually, like based on what you say, I guess our governance model is like very, very different. Then it's like there's literally like no way to like really largely impact the DAO. It's just like always like self-perpetuating, right? It's like you have no control, right? If someone wants to come in and kind of like, okay, just like contribute, great, go for it, just contribute, right? As like, okay, maybe like the only control you can have is like, what's the exchange rate you want to establish for like buying back the TSD token from like the open market, like using money from the DAO, but that's kind of like about it for voting.
So I mean, we're different, but like I could see how you have the various branches to do so, but you haven't had like, have you had feedback from your community in terms of the system? Like, does it work for them? Is there anything that they don't like?
So here's the thing, right? Everything I presented to you, none of it was really my idea.
Okay.
Including the games, including the governance model, literally none of it was my idea. It's like literally like the whole, as I said, right? Like I only like had this insight. I was like, what happens if we build an anti-social network around it? And like the game idea, the governance model, all of it was like, it was the community that came up with it.
Okay.
So the only thing I really did was that I just like sat there and listened to the community as they spoke. And then like once I see like enough like common like patterns occurring across like different parts of the community, I just like extract that. I say, guys, I'm hearing all of you like saying we need this. So like, this is it, right? I say, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna plug it in, right? I say, okay, great. Okay, done. So we have like no pushback from the community because it was their idea after all. Yeah.
And if you ever leave your position, like how do you secure that the next leader doesn't, dilute the organization and doesn't just go nuts and destroys you?
Well, here's where it's interesting, right? As of last week, I haven't like really, actually as of the past few weeks, I haven't really been leading the community. It's like, it's the other like members that actually got more involved as leading. So what I ended up doing is just like invented this new like staking mechanism. It's like saying, hey, this like new staking mechanism, I'm just gonna stick on like this 2 leaders that I feel like contributed a lot. I trust them, and it's gonna like, the staking is gonna expire like 6 months. So there's like really like no other like apparent utility for the staking, except there's just a vote of confidence on my side that actually shows up on the ledger. And then I just like went to like the community and say, hey, moving forward, I'm not really leading like the day-to-day. It's just these 2 guys. Please support them. And yeah, then basically it's just up to them, right? To contribute. I mean, you can like try to bring it down, but it's like all the nonsense you're doing that actually doesn't really align with the why. and doesn't really fit into rubric, this just kind of get dropped off to the side, right? It's just considered trash by default. Yeah. So the rubric and the mission purpose and value in combination with the rubric and the ledger is just like a self-filtering mechanism.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. These are good problems, but yeah, we have to like really try to figure out how to structure it right to protect the foundation, to protect it from all the, because I think like our technology is disruptive enough where it'll interest, the top globalists who might be against us by far.
Because I think like one of the interesting like questions like that like got raised that I was like been thinking about a lot on was like how do you actually ensure like there's a well-balanced government in the event whereby it's like it's like it's all absent, right? It's like that's where like the whole game theory thingy comes into play, right? Basically, there's no central authority. You're like totally relying on game theory, so that like you need to like find like a whole bunch of like really heavy weights to come in and like balance like the DAO. Make sense?
Yeah.
And then like since like well, at least ours is like fully like based on value, it's like you can't really like buy much like TSD token. You literally have to contribute your weight in to get like some TSD token. And yeah, it's like once you contributed in, it's like basically you're like exchanging like sweat and blood for like this shit, right? You like want to destroy it, go ahead. But like the other guys that's been contributing a lot, like sweat and blood, they probably want to preserve it too. Yeah. So that's like basically it. However, if you can like open it up for like purchase by like open up all your tokens for purchase, then you get like into the scenario where you start having like the capture phenomena for your DAO. I mean, if like they found it disruptive enough and they want to buy out all the tokens, sure, go for it, and then like shut it down. Okay, sure. There's like what happens after it gets shut down, right? All the value is just locked up in the DAO. Then basically like the DAO actually like can decide what to like use like this liquidity for, right? Maybe like build out something totally different. Just like from my perspective, right? If like the DAO decides one day that this game is like totally irrelevant anymore, let's just stop operating it. I was like, okay, sure, go for it, right? But like the purpose still exists, right? Which is like to build a battle world based on fundamental truth. It's like, all right, if all the existing active DAO members have a different interpretation, just go for it.
Hey Gary, I have a question.
Gary,
a question. So Max didn't tell you like a deeper. We have this new kind of terminology. What we're building, it's workspace 3.0.
Okay.
So imagine this. So when you're building your stuff on Google, you're building your workspace.
Okay.
But this workspace can do nothing, right? So what we bring to the workspace, the smart contracts, the unstoppable domain, right? So now your workspace have the dynamics. So, and I've been thinking, what if it's possible with your platform to build a DAO and inside of the DAO build mini DAOs? So let's say each workspace now can have a following. So it's have a social impact. People can upload the ideas. They can tokenize any content what they uploading to that workspace. They fully tokenize. So you have the full NFT contract. So we have the combination of, you can make 1155 or 721. So you have the royalty elements. If somebody using this idea of this data, and you have the vaulting rights. So I've been thinking, if it's possible with your platform, with your DAO, build the mini DAOs inside, because my workspace can have a different impact. So let's say my workspace is designed to collect information to go more green. Any project which live on sustainable nodes, green chain. So you want to support, you want to invest more people who using those nodes 20% more of their coins.
So actually, like
because your data living on a green solution, and the green solution miner is gonna get more rewards when they mine this or provide these nodes to the network or to support that workspace.
Wait, can you explain that?
You know what I mean?
No, that part. Can you like further clarify it?
Okay. One more time. If I build, I have the concept, I have this idea. Oh, let's say I upload to the workspace the idea, and then I get the voting. So the community of that space voting, wow, this idea can be great. How you say, you can predict, right? So now the prediction to your data, to your information, the element of the prediction. But in our end, what we have, we add these two new elements. One, it's time. So your data have the life data. So it has a history, it has evolution, how it's been transforming. It has a different members who was joining on a different time to change your data value, right? So your NFT now not only was like one part of the system inside of this workspace, it's multiplies and it's transforming with different ideas, and it's collecting the royalties, or the people of that workspace getting the money to their smart contracts. And then they have an own distribution of the money based on their performance.
I'm trying to understand. It's like, so what is a workspace? Is a sub DAO or what?
Kind of, yes. Like you can, let's say with your technology, I was thinking, wow, we can add to our 3.0 workspace, the smart contract, the contract which connecting like, you know, to the workspace where people can design their I don't know, their theory or their games or their rules. Or, you know, so you can design your own kind of economy of that workspace, because maybe Elon Musk gonna support that workspace by providing his maybe own research. And now this workspace become more valuable, so it's growing up. It's like, imagine this. So imagine you can see the works like a social workspaces.
Okay.
Right? So it's like they can communicate to each other. They can exchange the information, and you don't need the money. I have an NFT with this idea. You have an NFT with different idea. We can exchange those ideas. You don't need to pay each other.
Okay.
So it's like a new economy inside of the data exchange. Everybody exchanging the information. When you put something on Instagram, you exchange, but you don't get monetized. They take their information, they say, fuck you, you don't gonna get paid this information now, it's on ours because it's on our server. And we can do whatever fuck we want. But in our economy, in our workspaces, your data get the hash. So we're using IPFS. So everything get hash, you know? And when you have the hash, we automatically minting this idea to Solana or Binance Chain, whatever network you want to have. So we're bridging that. So your workspace have a multiply option to, you know, you can get reward, not you upload that as BNB network, but you get rewarded with Solana. It's okay. We can do this bridge. So we have that layer. But what we're talking about, this is like a new social data exchange. As the NFTs, everybody get rewarded. The smart contract of each workspace checking the endpoint, the exchanges, the royalties, whatever they have inside of those contracts, right? And each of your folder in our workspace, you can even build
you can share your screen, you know, because like it's very, very hard for me to like visualize what you're talking about. It's like it's a very large.
Okay, I can show you 1 second.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm kind of like getting lost, like somewhere in the middle. I'm trying
very hard something to get lost.
I just keep on getting lost.
Okay, I will easily show you. We have already interface. 1 second.
Cool.
It's mind-blowing what you guys building, you know, and what we trying to accomplish. And I think this is something else, you know.
Okay.
To have especially DAO, because I never been thinking from that perspective. 1 second, about to get my laptop. I need to charge it. Just connect to the energy. Technically speaking, on my question, like if this is possible, right, to make a sub DAOs.
Actually, here's the fascinating thing about the whole governance model, right? Literally, like you don't even have to align with like the main initiative like going on. You could like just like go and contribute in some other direction, so long as like falls into the rubric itself as recognized. Literally, like you can like keep on like earning, but it's like going in its own direction, right? You like literally have like 5, 6, 7, 8 different initiatives going in their own like independent directions. So long as like there's a leader for that initiative, and like that initiative is being like visible to like all the other DAO members in like the Discord channel or like one of the other channels where the scribes is like monitoring. Yeah, sure, go ahead. Make sense? No?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And do you have like any kind of dashboard customization of the DAO, or this is like just smart contracts and
no, it's not even this thing is not even on the smart contract at all, dude. It's just like all on the Google Sheet right now. Let me show you. It's just all sitting over here. Yeah, all on the Google Sheet. That's it. Not very smart, very like primitive, very old. Yeah, right here, right? All the ledger, all the contributions by all the various DAO members. How much token was like provisioned? How much was issued? And then the latest like hash transfer. I haven't like really gone and like airdrop like all the more recent ones. And then like the voting weight, basically like the voting weightage. Yeah. So look, I'm not even in like the top 10 right now. I'm like 7. Oh, you got back up to the top 10. Yeah. So I'm like 7th right now. Like Fatima.
Vladka's still the 3rd?
Yeah. Oh,
he's still the 3rd. I thought he already moved to the 1st.
He got displaced because like see what I done over here. I was like, okay, this is my vote of confidence on Fatima and like Priscilla, right? So basically stake on and got staked on and the maturity date. Yeah, so it got pushed down because of like my activity.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is your DAO, but for the DAO, what do you have like for public? Like, do you have like any like design already system which can be implemented on, let's say, on Solana or Binance? Or...
Nothing implemented yet, like with regards to like DAO management systems. I'm speaking to Satish, like who's also a DAO member, like next week, because he has like something that we can like maybe modify off of to support this. Yeah. I like spoke to like another DAO member who actually like runs his own project. He said he might be able to implement like some parts of it on the for his like system, but haven't heard anything from him yet. So I guess like he's kind of busy now.
Okay, so you have like your DAO pretty much like designed on the spreadsheet right now, right?
Yeah. It's
nothing automated process.
What?
Okay, so it's like a template you have. So
yeah. Copy like the Google Sheet and just like work off. It's kind of like work off that, because like that's how like the other 4 DAOs like did, right? They just come look at our like DAOs like ledger design and just like copy and paste and created their own.
Because I was thinking that you guys already have like the smart contract inside, like automatically working.
No.
Do you have plans to do it something, or you just whatever?
It's in the pipeline, I guess. Like when DAO members like becomes like more interested, they can build that part. Right now, they're all like focused on building out the game. I think like Satish's like system is like really interesting. Might be like useful.
But do you know like any data, like I mean like projects which use like smart contracts DAO approaches? Like I know like Cardano fully run, they have over 1,000 smart contracts in their DAO. They're number 1, I would say, in DAO. Well, because like we designing like this fully smart contracts, workspaces there, the storage of the data exchange, like everything, how it's happening, and the dynamics, and like to have this DAO element in that element, I think it's priceless.
Yeah, I guess like in your case, right? Let's just think from scratch, right? So what you're like saying is like, okay, I contribute my data in exchange for like tokens, which is like governance tokens, okay, governance rights tokens, which is great. So then I guess
not rights. No, like look, first of all, you can exchange data for the data. So
okay.
you swap two data between, you exchange.
All
it's
right.
a social data exchange.
Okay.
We don't need to pay each other because you have Apple, I have pineapple, right? And we exchange. We don't need money. We don't need tokens. We don't need to burn blockchain.
All right.
You know, we making the exchange, equal exchange, built on our verticals. So we have the time for how much you put, the energy how much you spend, the energy how much you need to support this file. So we calculate this data from a different perspective. And now that space, you know, have owners, co-writers, whatever. So it can have, because the people being developing this idea, or maybe this is a company structure, or maybe this is an agreement, and now they want to monetize this to other agreement, and they found, the system found, it's two files they matching, you maybe can merge them and make it better, even file. So we kind of moving the data transformation, and then every time they merge, this file get a new contract, you know, because now it's get like two more owners, more people getting the royalties because somebody buying. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see. So essentially, I contribute my data to this repository. You can like do the same too, and then like because of that, you can get some like royalty rights eventually when the data.
Exactly.
Exactly. All right. Kind of like similar to.
And then
thinking about.
And then I want to even like get, you know, maybe propose to whatever people I have under to buy these rights or something, because I being one of them, I don't know. And now you can have a different DAO inside of that repository structure, because you have the members which can vote what they want to do, you know.
Vote on
what they can, you know, what they want to do next, what they want to implement. Yes, if they want to merge this data more of this, they want to maybe stop this project with this data, you know, or put on hold.
Okay.
You know, so it's like the data evolution being kind of stopped right there because it doesn't provide the good energy, or it's killing the trees, or it's too much plastic, it's too much toxic. So now you identify the energy of this data to the social impact, to the economy, you know, to the whatever this can be. So we have this, you know, mechanism building inside of our workspaces. So we can calculate. So we have a data thermometer which predict this is in or this is yang.
Okay.
You know? This is give or this is give away. Because if this data give away, it's provide a good social impact and everything is moving. We don't have wars. If this data, it's self-destruct, it's all about like doing something worse, you know, or pornography, whatever, is get, you know, blocked by the DAO, by the community.
Yeah.
You know, because I get a lot of time question what you will do if somebody upload the pornographic or whatever, child porn or something. So I don't need to do nothing. This DAO, that workspace, they are responsible for this content. You know, so they can also get penalized.
Let's take a step back, right? Let's take a step back. No, let's not talk about the how mechanics or the what mechanics. Let's like see, like basically I'm hearing from you there are three different parties, right? You, the operator, the person contributing the data, and the person potentially using the data, isn't it? So if you kind of start from there, like the whole thing becomes simpler. What's your value? No, what's the value you're trying to get out of this as the operator? What's the value like you think the person contributing the data trying to get out of it? And then what's the value that the person using the data trying to get out of it? And then from there, you like design the tokenomics from ground up.
Okay.
Yeah, just start from there first. Don't even like talk about the how or the what, because like once you go into the weeds, you just get totally lost. Yeah. Why is it important for you? Why do you even want to do this? As the operator, yeah, answer that question first.
Okay, so the first question, that any content what you create has a value, right?
Yeah,
From
so
your
you
time
are the
perspective.
operator of the platform right now. Why is it important for you to like kind of have this?
No, look, it's not only the content what is being important, it's also the content which you don't use and it's sitting on your computer 10 years. And now you can upload this content, and maybe the system of the M+ workspaces can identify the value of that information what you upload. Do you see the difference? So in the time perspective, what you have right now, this doesn't make any sense or any value. But if you can get Nikola Tesla somehow, the data life history, his process, how he been designing those ideas, they can be priceless right now. But you don't have information to this kind of technology because it's not exist. And this technology, what it exists right now, doesn't give us those rights. So you need to fight for your privacy. You need to fight to own your data. And the NFT element have this element you own. So you have read, you have write, which is 2.0 internet, you have own your data. And now we bring this new element, learn. So the data learning with the data which is around them. And it's not learning. And it's not learning only from the perspective what you're thinking. We add this element to the energy, which what we call human design. You probably know what human design is, but if not, you can do some research, and you can see you can connect your data to the human design network. This is a different network. This is a network which don't exist right now, because this network can match other people, their mentality, their life perspective, their values of the lives. What's important for them, for me, let's say it can be important by my neo profile design, only sex, good time, or whatever, but for somebody, spirituality and something else. So your data now talking to all those different people. So you cannot judge your data because it's not has value to you, because you walk into the ocean. But guess what? If you upload this picture or the video, how you're walking, and somebody can use in their movies because they're building and they've been looking for this element, your data now have a value.
Basically, you're like saying, okay, a simple way to like monetize your data.
Exactly. You're thinking now you're gonna think, oh fuck, for me to monetize my data, I need to do a content which provides more of those elements because I can get rewarded more. Because it's thinking more green. You're thinking more about good vibe, you know, and you building. Imagine if you can merge different workspaces and you can match the data value, you know, and you can see how you can merge them together and use some ideas of those images, and now you creating much faster everything, because the nodes what we provide on 0 layer, it's Gen 4, you know, and you can build your clusters with university can exchange the data without any transparency with money, how much it costs. So they can match the data value by time, you know, how much they spend, how much they invest. So you can have all those vectors, how you calculate the data value of you, you know. And maybe this data can change your spiritual life, or you can have awakening. Maybe there can be something else, because we trying to bring the AI element and people who can, you know, build those skills, build the libraries, connect the libraries. So it's like an octopus effect, you know, your data has like a Shiba hands, you know, so it can think differently, you know, it can calculate not only what you think, but can see in the time. You know, maybe this data in 100 years from now can save somebody else research or version. We don't know. So whatever we generate needs to be recorded first. And secondary, we need to learn, the data need to learn how to become a better data, how to be more efficient.
So basically a simple way to exchange data. And then like a simple way to say, okay, I don't even know what my value of my data is, just put it up there at some point, maybe it might be worth something. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
From one point, yeah.
All right. And then like so basically each like workshop or working space is like one kind of data, one category of data.
It can be any. So one, your workspace can be music. One, your workspace can be NFTs. One can be your only legal documents. One can be your R&D research. So you have these all elements and you identify. So it's like a workspace cluster, which can grow, which can with mini, and you can build mini workspaces around. And let's say my workspace, Elon Musk will gonna join. You know how much impact it's going to bring and followers. So my workspace can have the followers. Now my workspace can have a supporters, investors who promote those ideas, or they looking for me and connect me with other people who has the same workspace. So we exchange the information, we merge the information. So it's much faster way how the data can communicate, I will say. Because the communication right now, we have so many gaps in the data. If I want to share this data to you, I will need to use Telegram or upload this image. Telegram upload their server. If I'm using Google have a clone history of my data. They can use it. I don't know how many, maybe they opening, maybe they reading. I have no fucking idea what's happening with my data. And maybe my idea now is no more unique because it's not stored right? So like our network architecture is fucked up. Our internet is fucked up. The communication between each nodes is also fucked up. And you have all those gaps. So your data, before it can communicate or before you can even sell your data, you have too much spammers. You need to have so much shit going on. Also the problem, right? So you have the vector of people who can fake the data, who can fake your identity. How to find the people, right? So we need to think how we can redesign the internet from the vector of the communication. Because when two nodes can communicate to each other, and they know we have the blockchain right now, so we have whatever 100 blocks, 10 blocks, and block 10 validating block 9, so you have everything reverse, but it's a process, right? So, but imagine if you can have the system which like IPFS, right? So you share your data. Now you make sure that your data never being cloned. And I don't need to send you the file. I can send you the NFT to your wallet, which can preview this image or use this.
I see. That's like the use of the NFT. Okay. So basically the NFT like unlocks the data for you. Does it like unlock and all the like data in the workspace, or is just like one piece of data?
One piece of the data.
I see. Why would they actually do that? I mean, like, here's the problem, right? It's like, how would I even know like it's like a piece of data or actually like find valuable? Depends really on the use case. It's like from my perspective, I'm
exactly. Like, now, no, it's only depends in other data value as well. So if somebody writing the books or you writing the, I don't know, song or anything, right? So your data, you generate the data. You write the melodies. So now you can have a same by somebody human design who kind of in your vibe, and he creates something else. So you can add those parts which will make a symphony of your idea. And you wanna contribute him because he put this 10%, whatever, he get 10% of your royalties. It's okay because your data being transforming on the NFTs, everybody get paid, everything is by a smart contract, everybody's happy. They know this data being truly designed by the humans, right? Number one. And you have the new human search system. So your Google, if you think from the Google perspective, how you search the information, you have 150 million pages, will take you 175 million years to go through everything. We have this informational chaos, right? Fucking fucked up shit, right? So, but now imagine this. Now your data become has the information, they have the economy by itself get rewarded. So you have now you have file 3.0. So now your file can search for other files and transform, you know. And this is like revolutionary WOD building. It's like a data evolution. You know, never change your NFTs looking for value with different NFTs by people design, but people introduce, but people what they do, and it's transforming nonstop. The energy of this data also become a big factor because you don't need to search something. When you create something in this workspace, it's automatically can ping and look for the people what you're working on. So it's like a new
I didn't really catch that. Maybe you can like simplify, like explain to me, because like kind of like there's like a lot of details in there. Sorry.
It's so hard to simplify. For me, it's so hard, but I'm trying my best, my bro.
Go for it.
Okay, let's put this way.
Okay.
So when you create the content, so what do you do? Let's say you code on Rust, right?
Okay.
And you code something, and you wrote an amazing code, but you don't know how to develop this, and you like, fuck, this can solve this, you know, mathematical progression of the data search or whatever.
Okay.
And you upload. Imagine now you upload this file not to GitHub, right? You upload to the decentralized workspace, which automatically make the NFT of your script what you wrote. So you have now you have a proof on the blockchain, this timestamp, this cryptographic signature, which coming not only from our network or our workspace, which has the element of your voice. So because we're gonna use the ecliptiker, we generate the code, and then the half of that is gonna be your vocal identification. So we have a different signature on your file. So your voice can identify that you're owner of the file in case if you need it, maybe one day, maybe not, whatever. But this is the elements how we're trying to protect the data from kind of like pattern, you know, you build the patent, you need to prove, oh, fuck, I did this time, blah, blah, blah. But now you have the signature on the blockchain, so you don't need to worry about that stuff. So it's fully on a different blockchains can be in the same time. So now my data, you know, register, decentralized, sharded, living somewhere, right? In a network, nobody can have access, only your wallet. So this is kind of the tree, how your data of the network, how this network designed. So now your data of that script built on the Rust, somehow your workspace connects with somebody who building on the same vision, but they on a different workspaces. So what we have behind of that mechanism, what we building your 3.0 avatar profile. So on 2.0 avatar, right? Your avatar, your profile can do nothing. You know, you need to have 100,000 of them to be on the multiple chains, or you can use a Google or Apple to sign up to somebody, you know, and their information stored in their servers, so they can use it.
So basically a decentralized version of GitHub.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
In one point. But on second point, so now because on GitHub you have a different repositories, right?
Yeah.
But now you can see the developers who've been developing. You know, it's inviting this workspace, invite you to the inside of the code, and then wherever you're typing something, it's automatically calculate the value of that technology and the market, and then it's gonna give you this file can be cost on the market like $2 million, the piece of that script, because it will help in the time. Like it's gonna save 2,000 hours of that. It's automatically can see this is bring impact to economy. It's bring impact to something. So now you have a different economy behind this file. So your data it has a new face now. You know, it's transforming to the not only it's like a GitHub on NFTs, but it's GitHub on NFTs plus why you build this.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you spending even time to build this? So it's asking a different new question. So it's like, why you want to do it? If you want to build something self-destructive, you know, or why not to improve it? You know, so this is like elements, the energy elements. So we can identify by who is building this data. We can see the human design of those people, you know, and it's also bringing the score to your data value because it's being built by the genius people, which has a beautiful human design as one. Or that community of that university of that cluster bring some elements to your data. Now your data being validated by the different groups, or your data being shared to different companies. Now it has something, it has attention because it's doing something good. So it's growing in the charts. And people can follow it, people can take this idea, they can develop, oh, now this script maybe can help save 100 million trees.
So essentially, a decentralized version of Git with a tokenomics, right? So when they contribute, you get tokens in return.
Not only token, it's you get rewarded. Everybody gonna get rewarded to the token. The economy, how you can monetize, it's one part because our time in the data value has now a different vector.
What's
because
the vector?
it's have a, and vector is learning. So your data looking to merge always with somebody to become a better by default.
So basically,
so whatever.
What's a vector? I don't really understand what a vector means.
Vector mean like factor. So you have read, write, on, learn.
Yeah, yeah.
On the Web 3.0, we have read, write, on.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't have vector learn yet.
Learn. And
vector
what does learn do? Max?
Guys, I'm sorry, I have to run. It's been a pleasure speaking with you right now. We'll catch up down the road to see how we can make this work.
Sure,
how, in terms of finances as well, and then we'll go from there. And then Roman and Max will take over right now. Nice to see you.
Later.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Gary.
So wait.
Hey, Gary.
Help me understand this. Like, what is that? So basically, what does the learn like a vector do? It's like what? You can like read it or what?
No, like a learn vector.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's now it has elements, like AI element, right? That's the one element. The second element, the energy of the why it needs to be exist, why we need to store this file, you know, or maybe we don't need to have this file on our nodes, on the fast nodes, so you can move this file to like a history or something, you know, because this file already been so revolution, it has already like 20 different versions, and each version go to repository on different level. So it's self-learning, so it's always changing and always inviting to become better. And it has a smart contract, so everybody who improve it and somebody use it, it get rewarded by itself. So it has economy and AI, it's inside, so it's learning non-stop. And people who using or people who wanna make it better, like have benefits.
Make the model better or make the data better? What does it mean?
Data.
How do you make the data better? Like encouraging more people to like contribute missing parts of the data or what?
Yes. So
yeah,
because your script
like,
now,
if you're talking about AI models, right? Basically, like the way to like make the data better is just like kind of like, okay, what's the attributes that's missing, right? It's like, okay, shit, that's like this whole repository of all the contact. The person's information as like the whole population's like information, as well as like the job description and like their health status. And that's like kind of like interesting data, right? And then like based on that, it's like saying, okay, great. Based on this, if we actually train an AI model, like then the market can actually like pay, say, X number of dollars, like willing to pay X number of dollars to like use this model. That's like the monetization, right? But then they can say, hey, you know, if we actually like start adding this addition attribute, then like the model becomes worth more. That would be actually interesting.
No, like the first part is what we're missing from the beginning, what you didn't mention is, let's say if you're working in a company, right?
Yeah.
Right now, any company, you pick it right now. Pick any company wherever you want.
Okay.
I will give you
let's pick
like
Facebook.
any IT company.
Yep.
Microsoft or whatever, Google.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, big company.
Yeah.
If you put your Intel to your data, how much you can get rewarded?
To what? Their companies, like if I kind of join their company and like my personal employee information gets injected into their database, or you mean I use their app and I contribute my data to their app because I'm using their app? Like which particular scenario?
No, you're working on a Google as a developer. You wrote a beautiful code. They take evidence because they mine your data. And get monetized. They pay your salary like 150K a year and 200 you have. You don't ask any questions. So you give the intel, you making, and imagine this, now your algorithm or your script, you know, save 20% of their economy because now they save in money because you build some AI which more efficient. Do you get something? They don't give you nothing.
Yeah, they give you nothing, man, except a salary. That's it. No? So basically, you're proposing like dynamic governance, isn't it?
Exactly. So now, because everything then you're gonna work on that Web 3.0 space, gonna make sure whatever you put, you get your rights. You have your smart contracts. So now instead of me working on Google, we say, you know what, guys, I want you to, can we work on a Ghost Drive workspace because it has a smart contract and you can check my performance, you can check my time, how much I put. It will show you how much you will save the cost and how much impact I'm bringing, and I'm on instant to make this data more better because I will have rewarded for this. And they're gonna say, okay, we're gonna give you the governance like 0.01%. Do you want to accept it? You say, no, I don't want to do, I want to do whatever, so you can negotiate. And then fine, but at least you're gonna get monetized, you know. Now you're gonna think, I already did this, maybe I can make this data better. But guess what? 100 other 50,000 people get this idea, and now you're all trying to work together, having on same repository, right? There's an economy inside, and everybody get contributed based on their performance.
So dynamic, like basically dynamic equity for coding, isn't it?
Exactly. Yes. Now, because you get rewarded, your work not only being recorded on repository, you know, it's been recording on a chain, and when people gonna use it, you're gonna get rewarded anyway.
So basically, every time like someone uses your script, you should like the people actually use the entire script should pay to use the script, and the revenue should like be
or use your NFTs to have access. It's like they need to buy your NFTs to have access to your scripts, maybe.
I see. Okay, I see.
And now you can have a different special NFTs when you can put a special scripts.
Yeah, I think the user
now it's gonna drive you to make more content on a different way. Now when you walk into the beach, now you can dance, you can make funny moves, you can do
get your point of view. If actually using the NFT like approach, the user experience is just going to be poor, very bad actually, a very bad user experience. Let me tell you why. It's like, okay, 1,000 developers actually contributed like to the code base. Then you actually want to use the actual code base. You have to like go and buy like all the NFTs from the 1,000 plus like developers. It's a fucking nightmare.
No, not really. No, first of all, you are the owners of this file, right? So you dictate your, so you're the creator, and you have the rights. So you take whatever you want to take. 20% only, and 80% donate to Red Cross.
Okay, so there's like literally,
you have,
if you create a piece of content, right? if you created a piece of like data, then like basically it's only like basically that data is not intermingled with other data that is contributed by other members. So it's actually not like open source like coding. It's not like GitHub, or it's basically like you're just like kind of creating a marketplace for like data. But like from the perspective of like say a person that's kind of like really trying to do like machine learning, then I'm like, okay, I have to go and look at this piece of data. Is it what I want? Is that what I want? And then finally, after that, do I finally assemble the actual CSV to train my model? There's like a lot of user experience like headache you're kind of introducing to the buyer, right? Yeah, you have to think of it from that perspective as well, right?
Yeah. Like the globalization of this data, you're gonna learn, you know, it's gonna grow, you know, by the years.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And
so
yeah,
it's like in a nutshell, like different
yeah.
workspaces, like the kind of like data schema you need to enforce will be like, you know, have to like say, hey, this is like data for say climate, then like these are the kind of attributes that you actually like need to like provide if you want to contribute to this particular like data workspace.
Exactly. You know, and then also have a link to Wikipedia. So it's pulling information from other sources, it's analyzing it. You get the different charts, you can get the Figma, Miro, you know, tools, so people working on the one space, and then you can see the history of that workspace or the history of this data transformation, changes, people, comments. Even comments can also impact, because you may be not a coder, but you can say something, and this is going to bring the whole puzzle, you know, put the checkmate. You know, so and then you decide which data have rights to live more, because you have, if it has a green social impact, so you have a social proof of the data. That's a huge difference. You know, so when you talk about it, like,
so I guess like
too much, but
really standardize the data, you know, because if you don't, then like it's like totally useless from like the user's perspective. It's like if I'm trying to like create a model, but the data like all over the place, I like have to waste a lot of my own time like cleaning it up. Why would I even like bother using it?
Exactly.
It's like when
but then
models,
with the perspective of the time, somebody can even find something what we didn't see right now.
Because like here's the thing, right? I can like say, hey, there's 10 like people contributing to this like workspace. I put like mine in PDF. He's like put his as like CSV file. This person just injects a JPEG file. You say, how useful is it going to be, right? Yeah, it's just going to be a nightmare to consume. If I'm almost kind of like a data scientist, oh my God, I just look at this, I just give up on one shot, I just go to another data vendor, and that's it, you know?
No, but for that you have machine learning, so you don't need to go through that process. So you have subfolders, which everything, you know, and can be
machine learning before. It's like it's not really as powerful as you imagine, because you like have to like really spend a lot of time to like clean up the data before you can like even train an AI model to kind of like pass through.
Not really. So if I have data, so you have your Excel, right? I have my Excel. So first of all, this data going to match by the data type. You know, it's not going to match by cheating spec.
Got it.
Yes. So it's a value for value. You know, so it's only if you're working on Excel, it's on Excel.
Yeah, you have to standardize the schema, no? Okay, got it.
Yes.
Because like if you don't standardize the schema within each workspace, then like it's just like very hard to consume.
I know. But in our chain, what we're building, our blockchain, so we have the chain which automatically can be a vector scalable. So it's okay. This data can have many different variables, but it's everything now is recorded on the chain. So now you have a proof of the data evolution, and this is your value. When it's transforming, the more it's transforming, it has a proof, you know, because it has like a tree, like a schema, right? So it's moving on different direction, and now it's every time when it's dynamically growing, you can see which vector is helping and which vector is taking away. So maybe if this, exactly, maybe if it's take away the human factor and people losing the jobs, maybe they want to stop it.
Max.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a great conversation, but I have like a meeting like starting really soon. Maybe we like should like find some other time to like continue like discussing this idea. Definitely is like very important, and I think like we can like figure out how to like further improve it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
All right. By the way, my name is Roman. I'm gonna put so Max. Yeah. So this is Max. So you never met me. You know, I'm the crazy scientist, whatever they call it.
Yeah. Cool. Great.
Great matrix breaker.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, definitely like need to refine the interfaces, no? Otherwise it's going to be hard to use now. Based on like what I'm understanding about how you like describe the system. Yeah, maybe we can schedule another time to
but I only described you the one part, you know.
The
digital avatar, your like human design. I need to show you how everything what we built. So we're launching on the June 1st, you know.
Nice. Perfect.
And, but not full version, but at least you're gonna experience new workspace experience.
I'm sure it's gonna be cool. Once you have like the UI shared, so that I can get a better sense of like what you're describing.
Exactly. All right, my bro. All right, guys.
All right. Later, dude.
Gary, can you send me the video?
Sure. I'll do that. Yeah, in a bit.
Awesome.
Later. Bye.
Awesome. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah. Bye.
Have a good one.